In the previous video, we built an banking agent that searches business on Google and summarize what they actually do. But here is the real question, should an agent always act on whatever it finds? So in the banking, the answer is no. That's where context grounding comes in a picture, and that's exactly what we are building in this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Broad Bros, where automation meets an action. I am Amit. In the Agentic series, this is another video where actually we are going to see a live demo on how we can utilize the context grounding. In this video, we are going to see a live demo how we can utilize the context grounding in our existing agent. So first of all, we are going to recap what actually the context grounding is and the agent that we have built in previous video. And then we will start the actual demo on the context grounding, how we can utilize in our existing agent. So let's get started. What is context grounding? So context grounding means giving your agent trusted, controlled information so it does not behave blindly. Instead of letting the agent decide everything based on the internet, so here we ground its decision using the banking policy, rules, and constraints. So let's take the same example that we have discussed in the previous video. So suppose you are in the new city and you wanted to reach out in particular location, but you don't know the path. So you are using here Google Maps. So Google Maps provides you the path, how to reach there, which is the best path, what is the road condition, and is there any traffic. So overall this data that Google Map is providing to you is we can call as an context grounding data. Okay, so without Google Map you will start searching out each and every location to see the exact location or exact point actually where you wanted to go. So this is the difference between the context grounding and without context grounding. That's how we are going to see how agent is behaving with context grounding and without context grounding in today's video. So let's recap what was actually our use case. So our use case was related to the banking domain where for onboarding, loan processing, account verification, we need some information of the business, what actually it does. So for that, the particular employee is directly manually searching over the Google, is finding multiple website, and from there it's collecting data and summarizing what actually the business does. So this creates some mistakes and going from each and every website and creating summarized report is not possible to the manual. That's why we have built here an agent, so which is going to receive an input as a business name, then it is going to search over the Google what actually the business does, and from the multiple website it is going to give a summary what actually in the real world the business is doing. So that's how we actually build an agent. Let's extend our banking agent. So our agent was getting the input as a business name and is going to search over Google and creating the final summary from the multiple websites. So now, apart from understanding what business does, the agent must also know which industry the bank does not want to engage with. So right, there will be some consent from the banking. Okay, for this kind of industries, please do not search, do not give the results, or we don't want the proceed with this banking. Okay, so for this in between, we are adding the context grounding. So here we are creating some rules, and that rules the agent is going to follow. So before giving the summary from the multiple websites, so it is going to first search up all which type of the industry it is. So here we are going to create the some context grounding rules, like for some type of industry the agent should not perform any search or agent should not give any response for particular type of business, or it should and escalate to the human. So here we are going to see human in loop. So here we are going to see one checkpoint. Suppose if the particular industry is excluded from the list, for that banking does not want it to proceed. So either agent will reply the particular business or the entity is as not for the standards of the banking or the banking rules, or it will just create the escalations and it will ask human what to do next. So these are the 2 points. Then agent is going to decide what to do. So first of all, in this demo, we are going to see the first condition, that is if the particular industry is excluded, then it should create the response like this business or entity is excluded as per the business rules policy. So this response is going to generate. And in the next demo, we are going to see how we can call human in the loop and how we can process that particular business or entity with the some conditions. So now let's move from the theoretical to the reality and let's see the live demo. This was an our agent that we have built before, which is the business search agent. And now in this agent itself, we are going to modify it and add the context here. So before that, let me show you how actually it behaves. First of all, let me debug this and let's add suppose Tata Motors. Okay. And let me debug. So it started running. The execution tells we can see it's LM call, then model run, and then it's calling tool. Okay, the agent run is successful. Let me show you execution stress again. It calls first of all LLM, understand the system prompts and the user prompts, then they start the running the model, then it calls the tool. From the tool, it gets some output, and from that, it's again call the LLM. So we are calling websites, then it's calling the LLM to summarize what actually we need, and then it will again run the model, and we are the finally getting the output. So here is our output. The Tata Motors Limited is an Indian multinational company and leading manufacturer and commercial vehicle, including passenger car and trucks, and so on. So status is information found. So now we are going to create the context grounding. So for the sum of industry, we will add the constraints. Please do not give the result or do not proceed with this industry. So now let me show you the context grounding file that we have built as a Excel, so that we are going to add in our agent. For now, I have added the 6 industry name for which business types the banks does not wanted to proceed with, like finance, investment, gambling, crypto exchange, weapons trading, and kind of. So the list will be very big as well. But for now, I have added the 6 only. So let me close this, and then we'll add here context grounding, and then we will edit the prompts here. Let's start adding the context. So on the right side, you can see create new option. Let's create the new index here. Let the page load. Okay, so let's give the index name here. Okay, I will give the same name, excluded industry types here, the description also, and the folder that is shared. So you can able to see data source, two values, storage buckets or connector. I am going to select storage bucket, and then let's select orchestrator folder, share, and then it will ask for selecting the storage bucket. That means if it is there, it will ask to select from that. Otherwise, it will give to create new. Let's create the new, and we'll create the new storage bucket. Let's give the name and add. After creation, we'll click on this storage bucket, upload file, browse file, and the file that we have created, and upload. So it's uploaded successfully. Close this window. See, this option is changed now. It's giving option to select or add new. Let's select this one and save. So our index is ready. Now we need to wait until it becomes the successful. So let's refresh it. So it's in queue status. We can see there is no any index. Okay, it's came. I thought it's successful. Yes, it's successful. Now let's close and select our index and keep the setting as it is for now. In this way, we have the context that is excluded industry types. That is our Excel file. So let's start updating our system and user prompts. So here are two ways that we can use. First is update manually. Otherwise, we can use the autopilot option. We'll ask autopilot, I need this kind of changes, and it will add automatically. So let's start asking to autopilot. So it's done. I have added points like please update agent to add new logic for run. First point is agent will search business and check type of business industry it is. Then as per this, it will refer context grounding document, excluded industry types. And if the business type is listed in context grounding document, it will give output like as per banking policy, this business is excluded. That's it. I wanted to add one more condition here, or else it will give output what business does. That's it. Now let's check what autopilot will give us. So we can see it started processing and it given suggestion on system prompts. Let let's wait to be completed. Let's review the suggestions from the system prompt first. And here we can see your AI banking assistant designed to provide information about business. In between sentences dated, then and Check if they are excluded industries, your task include. So there are few points like receive business name as input from the user, use the provided web search tool to search Google for information about the business, analyze the search results to determine the business type or the industry. Check if the business type is listed in the excluded industry type context that we have added. So it's very important. If the business type is listed excluded response with as per banking policy, this business is excluded. And this added very well. This condition is important. If the business type is not excluded, create a concise summary of the most relevant and recent information found about the business. And last one is if no relevant information is found, response with information not found. So information looks good, accept it. Let's accept above one also. Be precise in identifying the business type or industry to accurately check against the excluded. Let's accept. I wanted to modify six condition little bit. If the business type is not excluded, create concise summary of the relevant and the recent information found about the business. So here it should include the actually what business does. So let's add what business does. And that's it. Our system prompts looks good. Let's edit now user prompt. So let's review suggestions from autopilot. Click on it. Please search for information about the business. Name the business name. So this is the business name is our variable and determine if it is excluded history. So follow these steps. So below are the steps. Let's accept above one. Let's accept it. So below are the steps. Use the web search tool to find information about the business name on Google. Analyze the search result to determine the business type or industry. Check if the business type is listed in the excluded industry type context. So here we are defining our context. Okay, so this is a very important statement. So fourth point is if the business type is listed as excluded, response with as banker banking policy, this business is excluded. And fifth point is like summarize the most relevant and recent information about your find about the business and provide this information in your response. And sixth point is if you cannot find any relevant information, response with information not found. Let's accept this. So in this way we have updated user prompts. Now it's time to see is there any other suggestions from the autopilot, and here we can check on the right side argument we have the review suggestions. So let's see. Okay, it's created one more is excluded output. So let's accept because this is needed one. So now it's time to check our agent. Let's debug. I'm going to search with the same name, business name, Tata Motors. Let's debug, and it started running. Let's see the execution styles. So it's loading. Yeah, now you can see execution styles. LLM call started. That means it started analyzing our input. Then it called web search tool to search over Google. Then again it called model run. Based on the results from the web search, it will summarize. Then now it will call the second tool. So that is the context grounding tool where it will check our business is excluded from the list. Let's check the result. So if you come below in the agent output, so we can able to see summary of the data motors, what are the findings from the Google, and below is the status information found and is excluded false. That means it is going to be considered in the banking case. So now it's time to check the negative scenario where the context grounding is to be used. Let's search with Delta Corp. Actually, it is an gambling industry. Let's see how our agent is going to respond for this. So it's running started. Okay, execution tool is also started. So we can see model run, tool executions. Okay, it's from the previous one. Let it first run. Yes, run is completed. So agent, let's see the execution says. So it's called LLM, then the model run, then it called the web search tool, then it called again the model to summarize, then it called the tool that is context grounding. Here it is going to check, okay, this industry is excluded or not, and accordingly it is going to provide the output to us. Then based on this, it is generated the response with the use of the LLM call, and finally here is our output in agent output. So see, as per the banking policy, this business is excluded and status is business excluded and is excluded is true. So either we can keep the status business excluded or is excluded true from both of the fields. If you want, you can remove the any one. Now we have seen how we have created the agent, how we have added the context grounding, and also the with the two different example, like one is not excluded and one is excluded industry, how the agent is behaving and how the agent is giving the reply. So that's how we can use the context grounding in the agent. So with this, we are at the end of the video. In the next video, that is continuation to the agentic series, we are going to see demo on the escalations. We are going to take the same example and there we are going to add human in the loop, and then let's say how agent is going to behave when he needs some help from the human in such cases where agent can't perform action itself as per the context grounding that we have defined. If this video helped out you to understand context grounding, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your network. See you in the next video. Until that, happy automation.